Welcome, everyone. This week, we are talking about how much wealthy, holistic pregnancy and postpartum practice owners put away in savings each month. And I'm excited to be here and excited to talk about that. Before we get started, if you're tuning in live, please do me a favor and drop where you're tuning in from in the comments, along with what kind of business or practice you have. I always like getting to know you guys. And then if you are tuning in on the replay later today or some other day in the near future, go ahead and type hashtag replay in the comments. And what? Okay, well, you're gonna have to go by yourself. Hashtag replay in the comments. If you don't know me yet, welcome. I'm Ari Wheeler, the CEO and head profit growth strategist at Some Lady Financial LLC, where I specialize in helping holistic pregnancy and postpartum practice owners increase their profits and their impact using my SERVE protocol. Okay. If you do know me, you know I'm not huge on small talk, so we're just going to go ahead and dive in. All right. So step one, right? Before we dive into this, I do want to mention really quickly that what I'm covering today will also touch on paying off debt, right? This doesn't have to be an either or situation. Step one is I want you to sit down and calculate your monthly expenses if you haven't done that already. And then you also need to determine your post-tax income, right? The money you actually have available to you for spending. And then you're going to set some payoff and savings goals, okay? It's really important that you don't move on until you've done this, because you need these numbers to do the rest of what we're talking about, okay? So calculate your expenses, determine your post-tax income, set your debt payoff and your savings goals. All right, step two, we're gonna talk about the 50-30-20 rule, okay? This is a money management technique that divides your paycheck or your gross profit for business, right, into three categories. So that's going to be 50% for your essentials, right? Things like rent, right? Or any other overhead expenses that you have for your business. And then 30% to your wants, okay? For your business, this could be things like, you know, that new mastermind that you want to be a part of, or maybe a software upgrade that you would really like, but you don't necessarily need it, right? And then 20% is going to go towards your savings and paying off your debt. Okay. Let me just hide this real quick. Okay. So I can actually see what I'm doing. I don't want to say that this is always like super easy to live by, right? When it comes to expenses, there's really no like one size fits all. Okay. As an example, your location can definitely contribute to needing a higher essentials percentage, for example, okay? If you have a business or a home in New York City, you're gonna have a much different rent expense than if you're living in a small town in the middle of nowhere, right? So just keep that in mind. All right, here we go, next one. So along those lines, right, here's the side note, okay? If you run your own business, which you probably do if you're tuning in on this, right? Your income may be too irregular for a hard and fast rule like this, okay? So, and on top of that, it's really important to keep in mind any high interest debt that you have. So it will often make more financial sense to pay off high interest debt before beginning to build your savings, because if you're trying to do both, you're likely spending more money in interest on that high interest debt than you would be saving by saving your money away. So technically, you would be saving more money by paying off your high interest debt first. Now, if the 50-30-20 feels too restrictive or difficult for you right now, you can always try starting with the 80-20 rule, okay? All right, step three. Okay, step three, we're going to actually talk about building your business savings account, okay? Now, the amount that you put in here is going to be dependent on your business. But a good place to start is 10% of your monthly profits, okay? As a reminder, profits are what's left over after you pay for all of your expenses, right? So just for a nice round number, let's say that you have $5,000 in profit at the end of the month. Then you would take 10% of that, or $500, and put it in your business savings account. Okay. Now, Another great goal to aim for is having 6 months of operating expenses hanging out in your business savings account as a nice cushion for you, okay? This is extra important if your business is seasonal, with most of your profits coming from just a few months out of the year. Now, most of the clients I work with don't have that level of seasonality in their business, but if you do have a season that is busier and more profitable than other seasons, this can be a really great way to make sure that you have a cushion in place to help you sort of ride through those slow sales seasons without feeling that crunch so much. Okay, so you definitely want to have enough in there to cover you on your low sales month so that you don't have to stress about those expenses that you have every month. Okay. All right. Now, along these lines, when you're deciding how much to put into your business savings account, and there's 2 questions that I want you to ask yourself, okay? First up is, how much cash do you have an immediate need for each month, okay? And this goes back to when I talked about at the beginning, sitting down and figuring out what your expenses for each month are, right? That's how much cash you have an immediate need for each month, right? And then the second question is, what stage of business are you in? Okay, if you are currently in a growth phase of your business, it probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense for you to stash a bunch of cash away, because you need most of that cash to continue to fuel your business's growth. Okay, whereas if you are a more established business, right, you've been profitable for several years, you kind of understand the ebb and flow and everything that's going on, you have less unpredictability in your business, and therefore you can stash more money away into savings. Great, congratulations. Right, let's recap, okay? So step 1 is you need to calculate your baseline, right? Your baseline expenses and your post-tax income. And then you're gonna wanna set goals for your savings and your debt payoff, okay? From there, you're gonna hit the 50-30-20 rule. It's backwards there. Oh, well, right? 50-30-20 rule. Please stop, you're shaking my desk, okay? And then from there, you're going to start building your business savings account, okay? And again, remember to ask yourself those 2 questions. How much cash do you need? Do you have an immediate need for each month, okay? And which stage of business are you in, all right? Now, hopefully you can see that the 50-30-20 rule can definitely benefit your holistic practice, even if you have high interest debt to pay down, right? You can save for the future, live today, and pay down debts when you have a strong understanding of your cash flow and you put a plan in place, okay? Now, if your business finances have grown increasingly complicated and you're just not sure anymore if you or your team are managing things correctly, it may be time to consider working with a profit growth strategist like me. My kid's over asking the refrigerator for strawberries right now. Okay, if you don't currently have a team to support you in this, please feel free to reach out or comment below with Wealthy so that I can personally reach out to you to see how I might be able to help, okay? And as always, if you have small business friends that you think could benefit from this information, please feel free to share this training with them either through Messenger or you can tag them in the comments, okay? I'm so glad that you tuned in this week, that you got to see this. I hope that you got some action items you can go out and get moving with right now, and then get yourself some fantastic results. Come back and let me know how it's going. All right. I'm going to stop sharing so we can come back to my face. Hey, there's my face. So like I said, I'm so happy to be here serving you every single week. And I hope that you are taking some notes, getting some action items, and then going out and actually taking action on those action items, right? That's where the beauty comes in, right? That's where the growth happens. So go and do your action items and then let me know how it went. All right. I will see you same time, same place next week. Chat soon.